everybody.
Stephanie.
Welcome,
Hello,
Stephanie.
everybody.
Hi,
Thank you.
Stephanie.
And at Rolanda's request, I'm wearing my IMCPS shirt that Student Dining Services has just gotten in as our new polo. So I'm ready whenever you are, Adrian. So as Rolanda talked about, we're going to talk about some ideas and tips to help you take back your desk. Because be honest, when we were at work, we all had a snack drawer at work. Maybe the office candy bowl was on your desk or very close to it. And while at work, we were able to limit the time we could get into those. But while we're at home, the problem is we can get into snacks anywhere, anytime we want because we have access to the pantry and the freezer and the fridge. So we have to really be diligent about what we're doing and try not to overdo it because like she said, nobody wants the COVID-15 to come back to work with those extra 15 pounds. So just also try not to keep snacks on your desk. If you're able to work at your desk out of the kitchen area, do it. Set something up away from the kitchen. Next slide, please. Some things to remember, keep a schedule. Try to keep the same meal schedule while you're working from home. Schedule your breaks and your lunch on your calendar. Obviously, we all have meetings at different times during the day, so it's going to be hard to keep that static every day. But as much as you can, eat your lunch at the same time, take your snacks at the same time. If you've got kids at home, coordinate your snack meal time with them so you can have time to spend with them together, and maybe they'll leave you alone for a few minutes so you can get your work done. Fingers crossed on that. I know with little ones, that's going to be kind of hard to do, but it might help. Next slide, please. Move it. Take regular breaks. Prolonged sitting is not good for your health, mental or physical. So get up from your work area at least once every hour. Move, stretch, or get outside to reset and clear your head. This will help prevent you using food to cope. Set a timer on your Fitbit or cell phone as a reminder. Do a quick walk around the house. If you have stairs, go up and down the stairs a couple of times to get your blood flowing. Just getting some fresh air helps you refocus better than any snack would. Next slide, please. Drink more water. Staying hydrated is essential for preventing your cravings. Aim for 9 to 13 cups of water or 9 caffeinated liquids every day. Limit soft drinks. Consider flavor packets to add to bottled water. And limit sugary drinks because the sugary drinks will create more cravings for sweet options. Next slide, please. Flavored water. Infused water. There are infused water pitchers now. You can make a pitcher every day of a different flavor. Strawberries and melons. Sliced cucumbers, lemons, limes, fresh ginger makes an awesome tea, and it's got very good antioxidants in it. Does anybody have a favorite flavored water they'd like to drink?
I love mint, cucumber, and lime.
Oh, that does sound good. That's a good option. I'm gonna write that one down.
I cheat. I drink the hint water.
That's good. That's sugar-free too, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
not
not a fan
sweetened
of
at
the
all.
hint water.
You can taste the flavor of the berry or whatever it is sweetened. I mean, but there's no sweetness to it at all.
Mm.
So I was so excited when mine came, and when I got it, I was like, "Oh, okay."
I cheated.
I really like sparkling water. LaCroix is my go-to because it makes me think I'm drinking pop because it's fizzy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So LaCroix is my thing. The limoncello is
tried
the
that.
best.
It doesn't taste good. I did the sparkling ice, which has given me the pop thing because I like Rolanda or whoever said they were getting off Mountain Dew. Me too. It's not going well. But this has bubbles and it doesn't taste terrible. They should pay me. This is the ice.
Heather, who is that by?
I don't know.
The
It's
best
sparkling
sparkling
ice.
ice is the cherry limeade.
I love that.
It's delicious.
Yeah,
That is
this is the
good.
black raspberry, which I really, really, really love. But if I mow the grass or something, the cherry limeade is my second fave.
Yeah.
It's sparkling ice and it tastes. I tried the LaCroix and it's just not as sweet enough.
I know, me
Yeah,
too.
the limoncello LaCroix is the absolute best. That's the only one I buy anymore. It's delicious.
It's called
Have to
lemon
try
what?
Limoncello.
Okay.
LaCroix.
Okay, that sounds good. I'll have to try that too.
Yeah.
Okay, the next slide, please. So prepare for success. Don't buy it. Don't bring it in your house. Don't have it around you because you know what's going to happen. You're going to eat it if you've got junk food in the house. And a stressed brain tends to need more energy, and a quick source of energy is glucose, which is found in sugary foods such as candy and chocolate and chips. Obviously, there's no way I'm going to say don't eat any of this stuff because we all do. We're all going to try it, but limit what you're going to have. I mean, involve the kids in this too. When you go to the grocery, if you've got kids at home, let them pick one snack a week that, you know, they can indulge in. And maybe you buy a big bag of chips that you either pre-portion or you buy individual bags of chips that are pre-portioned. Stock up on fresh fruits and vegetables. You can also purchase pre-cut vegetables now in every grocery store, so there's really no time involved in doing it. So the excuses of I just don't have time to cut up some carrots or celery are out there because it's already cut up for you. All you have to do is buy it. And the kids can also be involved in that. You can buy a bag of baby carrots, have them portion it out into individual snack bags. So when it's time for a snack, they can just go grab one and get some yogurt or some low-fat dip, and away they go. And again, involving them in it too makes it a family affair, and it helps keep everybody focused on it. Next slide, please. As we talked, portion control. Sugar-free pudding or Jello cups are perfect for a quick snack. The pre-cut celery or baby carrots, a container of yogurt. If you have some granola on hand and some fresh berries, put that on top of there. And that's a good mid-morning snack with some protein and carbs to keep you going. Low-fat dips. The nuts, prepackaged nuts are available too, so you don't have to sit there and eat the whole bag. Because I know anything I open, if I have the whole bag in front of me, I'm gonna eat it. So eliminate that. Get that out of your way. Make a fruit salad once a week so that you always have that as a go-to also. Right now, the fruits are really good. The strawberries I've gotten are great. The cantaloupe, pineapple, all that stuff is really good. So make use of that. Next slide, please. Here's a couple interesting points. You're not the only one craving chocolate and chips. According to the Hershey Company, they have dramatically outpaced the chocolate category growth by double digits. The best chocolate to consume is dark chocolate for its health benefits, 85% or higher cocoa. And chips, Hair Foods Incorporated, which makes 5 to 6 tons of chips every hour, has had to increase production last month to meet the greater demand. So like I said, we're not the only ones craving this kind of comfort food. Everybody else is too. Does anybody have any thoughts or questions on any of that?
That's a little comforting. I'm glad to know that I'm not the only one over here snacking my way through a whole bag of barbecue grippos.
No, you're not alone. A lot of us are doing it. Okay, I'm going to move my computer and we're going to start on the recipes. Hopefully everybody can see me okay. Okay, the first recipe we're going to start with is a pineapple salsa. And I'm wearing gloves for 2 reasons. One, I cut my finger this morning, and number 2, pineapple burns my hands really bad, so that's why I'm wearing the gloves. I was doing this, if I'm not a cut on my hand, I would not wear gloves. So here's my pineapple. I'll give you a couple tips on how to pick a pineapple. You want the tip to come right out when you pull it. That's a sign that it's ripe. You want to get an even color. The greener, the less ripe it is. If it's starting to turn a little bit golden, it's more ripe and it's going to be a little bit sweeter. So that's what I'm looking for on my outside color. And I want, when I squeeze it, I want it to give a little bit. That also means it's more ripe and it's going to be juicy and sweet. So another thing I do before I start doing anything is I sharpen my knives. I've just got a knife sharpener. So you cut the top and the bottom off the pineapple. And then you stand it up so it's flat and it's not moving on you. And then you just go down and start cutting off the sides. Now I've got my compost bucket right here, so that's where I'm putting all that stuff. So if you see any little eyes, you can just cut those out. Okay. Okay, and then I go, the core is right here. So I just go to the side of it, and then I turn it, and I go to the side of it, the side of it, and the side of it. And this is really good snacking. You can save this and snack on it for later. And again, peel that off. I'm laying my fruit flat so it's not going to move on me. And now I'm just going to section it. Anytime you section something, you want to think about what you're doing with it. This is going to be on a chip, so I'm going to make it kind of small. If I was doing kebabs, I would do it a lot larger. Okay, so it's doing a quick dice on that. Now, as you can see, I'm holding my knife like this. So that's giving me more control over my knife versus being way back here. So if you hold it right here, you've got control and you're not going to cut yourself. The chances of cutting yourself are less. Let me put it that way.
It looks like you picked a really good juicy pineapple.
Yeah, it is very good. And again, those tips I gave you don't work every time, but usually they do. Okay. Okay, so we've got the pineapple in the bowl. Just gonna wipe my surface so it's not too slippery and I don't inadvertently cut myself. Okay, so for this recipe, I like using Roma tomatoes. It's more meaty, it's not as juicy, and it seems to hold up better. So let's cut that in half. It's going to core out the top. And again, I'm going to do a small dice on the tomatoes. So this recipe called for 3 tomatoes. I'd already done a couple of them ahead of time just in the interest of time. So those are the tomatoes. Next, we're going to do the jalapeno. And again, you can omit this if you don't like spicy things. I'm just going to peel out the seeds. The seeds are removed. Yep.
You guys can tell she's a pro. She's like on television. I've done those ahead of time already. You know how they always come out with the finished product. Go, Stephanie.
Well, I was trying to get as much done as we could. So the seeds are where all the heat is on the jalapenos. If you take all those out, you'll just get the mellow jalapeno flavor. And again, we're going to do this in real small dice, thinking about this is going to go on a chip. We want just the flavor of it. You can also use this salsa to put on top of grilled chicken, on top of grilled fish. If you're not a tomato fan, you don't have to do tomatoes. You can do strawberries instead, and it still makes a nice salsa. Okay. Okay, my red onion. I don't like a lot of red onion, so you can do as little or as much onion as you want to. But I like the color of it in there. So I kept my root end firm, and I'm just doing slices. And then I'm going to go this way. And again, just a small dice.
And I'd like to add in to what Rolando was talking about. So Stephanie is our district chef. So she does training videos like this for our staff. So whenever we do new recipes, she does these demonstrations out of our test kitchen at Iowa Street. And then we send it out to the schools because we can't always get everyone together to do a hands-on training. So she does this type of training. And in this case, we get to see her beautiful home kitchen instead of our commercial kitchen.
Yep.
Super cool.
Mhm. All right, I'm using a green pepper for this. You can use orange pepper, red pepper, whatever pepper you got around. It doesn't have to be a green one. I did green because I'd like the color contrast with it, but whatever you got on hand, you can use. And again, just a small dice on that. And you get the idea. I'm just going to go ahead and move on. And then I've got a lime. Again, on the lime, you want firm skin, you want a firm fruit. And if you roll it a little bit, that helps loosen up the juices inside. I am actually going to save the zest on this lime because I can use it to flavor my water. I can mix it with some sugar and let it set overnight, and then that's going to give me some lime sugar that I could use for like a tea or an iced tea. So I'm just going to zest the skin a little bit. And all you want is the green part. You don't want the white.
Stephanie, can we freeze lime zest?
Yes. But you can also just put it in a little container and dry it too. Like if you let this out in a bowl overnight, by the next morning it would be dried, and you could put it into just a little jar and have it. Because you can buy freeze-dried lime. Or you can buy dried lime. You can buy dried orange peel, lemon peel. Again, that's going to be a nice addition to some iced tea tomorrow. Okay. So now I'm just going to juice it over the top. Now remember, lime is an acid, so and also the pineapple is an acid. So if you want to prepare this the day before, expect the next day for it to be really juicy because it's going to start breaking down all the fruits. So this is probably best prepared the day you're going to eat it. But this stuff is so good, it's not going to last too long once you.
Stephanie, that's good to know because a lot of times we're always trying to prepare stuff ahead of time in the interest of time, or thinking we need the flavors to come together. So that's good to know that that can actually be done the day of and you'll still get a good result.
Yeah, if you wanted to do most of this the day before and just have the pineapple diced up separate and add it the day of, that would be better. Because again, the pineapple is an acid and it's going to start breaking everything down. Okay, so there's our pineapple salsa. Yummy. Pineapple has got so many good things for you. It's good for your eyes, for your skin. It's anti-inflammatory. It helps with cancer protection. The tomatoes, same thing. Vision, cancer protection. It helps your blood sugar. It helps your digestion. So fresh fruits and vegetables are very good for you.
Stephanie, what's the healthiest chip to use for dipping with the salsa?
Corn chips are going to be your best. It just depends on what your diet is also. I like blue corn chips because they've got a little bit more of the fiber and stuff in them. But again, you can put this on top of fish, chicken, any of that. Okay, so next. We're going to make kale chips.
Ooh.
And don't shake your head. Kale chips are awesome. If you've never had one, try it. So I bought
They're delicious.
They are very good. I bought a head of kale. I washed it. Now I'm just going to peel it off the spines. And the biggest thing with this is to make sure they're all roughly the same size, because they'll cook faster if they're too small. And you can do this with a knife, but it's like, why dirty a knife up when you want to just tearing it up is easy enough. So you put as much kale as you would like into the bowl. That's probably good for now. Okay. Now the other ingredient is olive oil, maybe 2 tablespoons or something like that, and salt. And then you kind of just massage. Have you ever had kale and you chew and you chew and you chew? Yeah, you need to massage it first, kind of break down the fibers a little bit, and that helps get away from that part of it. So just a couple seconds of doing that. And then you want to put it all in one layer. If you got some big ones, just tear it up a little bit. You don't want them on top, but you want a single layer. And then we're going to bake it. Everybody's oven is going to be different. My oven is a convection oven, so I do it at 350. If your oven is a regular conventional oven, you might want to do 375. If your oven runs hot, you might want to do 350. So just kind of play with it. It takes about 8 to 10 minutes roughly. So you just put that in the oven. And then it comes out looking like this. I hope you can see it. Okay. And you can test. This one isn't done. See how it's a little bit wiggly? It's not done. You want it to be a firm chip. Can you hear the crunch?
Yes.
Yeah. And this stuff is awesome. Always make sure you brush your teeth after you eat it, though, because the green stuff gets stuck in your teeth. But it is very, very good. You can also season it with some dry ranch dressing after it comes out of the oven. Just sprinkle some of that on there. So you've got a ranch flavoring. So that's really good, too. How are we doing on time? Doing okay?
I was wondering if you could put, for Rolanda, if you could put some Grippo seasoning on it to give you your Grippo kale chip.
Hi, Ebony.
Oh,
I just about
on the
to
same nip.
See what I put in the chat? I said the Grippos are the devil. I'm so gonna make this weekend, Stephanie.
Let me know how it goes.
Hey, you'll be hooked on kale chips now.
All right. Ebony, you are trip. That was funny.
Trying to help us out.
All right, next thing we're going to do is some bruschetta. Do we got some bruschetta fans out there?
Me love bruschetta.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yes.
Carbs, love them.
So again, in the interest of time, I did a couple of tomatoes up ahead of time. The best time to make bruschetta is when you pull a tomato fresh off the vine. That is the best time to make it. Right now, we're still kind of right before that season, so grocery store tomatoes are going to have to do. And again, you want to do a small dice on this. Okay, and then we've got some garlic cloves. I had already put some olive oil and 2 garlic cloves in this bowl to brush over my toast. So I've got that already done. So then I've got 2 other garlic cloves. You can mince it, you can buy it minced, but I like grating it. It makes it really small and it just kind of disappears. You get all the flavor without all those big chunks. So this is just a cheese grater that's got really small holes in it, if you can see that. And I just grate it in there. Okay. And then I've got some fresh basil out of my garden. That's growing pretty good already this morning. And for basil, you kind of want to pull it off the stem so you have just the leaves. And you can chop this up as fine as you want or leave it kind of big and leafy, however you want to do it. So I kind of roll them all up together like a little cigar. And then just kind of do a chiffonade. And that goes in. Oh, it smells so good in here. I wish we had smell-o-vision.
That makes 2 of us.
And again, you can put red onion in here if you want to. I'll do a little bit of that for some color. Some people make it without the mozzarella and some people make it with mozzarella. I prefer it with the mozzarella. It kind of makes it a little bit more hearty. So I bought this log and it's already pre-sliced. So all I have to do now is just chunk it up. And this is an 8-ounce portion. I'm probably going to do maybe 1/3 to 1/2 of it. And again, it's already pre-sliced. So I'm just going to. And you can use the balls of mozzarella, but I definitely prefer fresh mozzarella besides those bricks you can buy. It's got a totally different flavor. It's just just got more flavor to it. And every grocery store has it there in the deli, in the cheese shop section. Yeah, about half. Yeah, about the half looks good. Okay. So then we're going to do olive oil. And this is extra virgin olive oil. That means it's the first pressing of the olive, so that's where you get more flavor out of it. And I've got some balsamic vinegar here. I'm going to do about the same amount of balsamic. And then some fresh black pepper. Because the cheese is salty, you can add salt, but just taste it first to see how much salt you're going to need. Because it may be salty enough for you. But the salt is also a flavor enhancer, so it is going to bring out the flavors of the tomatoes a little bit and the basil. So it's good to add just a little bit of salt. Then I had made some sourdough last week, so I saved some of that. And I put some olive oil and some of that grated garlic in here. And I brushed it on top of the bread. And then I broiled it till it came out to, just a little toast points, a little garlic brown. And then that's what you serve your bruschetta on top of. You can do this if you're grilling out after you make your hamburgers and hot dogs, clean the grill off, and you can put this directly on the grill to kind of toast it, and that gives it another good flavor because it's got that smokiness in there. Put that with your tomatoes and cheese, and it's really, really good.
How soon do you put the toppings on top of the actual toast?
Within a few minutes of serving. You don't want to do it an hour beforehand because then your toast is going to get soggy. And you want the toast to be kind of crunchy because all this is soft. So you want that definition of a crunchy, soft, salty, hard kind of thing. If you do it, you could just put the bowl right here and put your toast points around it and let everybody serve themselves. That way it stays nice and twisted. Yeah. But you can do the bread a little bit ahead of time and then just put it in the oven to warm it up like a couple minutes right before you serve it. So that's another thing you can do ahead of time. And then I just wanted to talk about the chickpea recipe I also submitted. This is a whole can of chickpeas, so you see it doesn't make a whole lot. But these have got protein, it's got fiber, it's got the carbohydrates, but it's not a chip, but it's crunchy. I made this one in my air fryer, and it turned out to me better than in my conventional oven. It took a little bit longer in the conventional oven to get that crunch that you want. But this is just olive oil, salt, pepper, garlic powder, and paprika. But you can also dress it with ranch dressing, the dry packets. You can also put some taco seasoning on there and you get the taco flavor, kind of like a Dorito-ish kind of thing. But it's a little bit healthier for you. Okay, how do I do on time? Any questions or anything?
That was amazing, Stephanie. Thank you so much. I'm so hungry right now. Sitting and hearing this. Yes, everyone feel free to ask questions. If you're more comfortable putting it in the chat, I'm going to open up the chat as well, and I will read the questions to Stephanie so that if you don't feel comfortable talking out. Eric just posted, you can sub cilantro for basil for Southwestern or pepper jack cheese and use it on tacos. He said be creative, and I think that's so important. Just in trying to eat a little healthier, you have a lot of options. You can be so creative with that.
Yeah, you can also put cilantro in the salsa. I just don't like cilantro. To me, it tastes like soap. I've got one of those kind of palates where I just can't eat it. But yeah, cilantro also can go into the salsa if you like it.
Rolanda said olive oil seems to be a key ingredient.
Yes, it is. It's good for you. It's got antioxidants. It's a good, healthy fat.
I know I switched pretty much to extra virgin olive oil for everything because my husband he's very much a health nut. God bless his heart. I wish I was more like him. But I pretty much, I don't cook with any other oil pretty much now. I pretty much use olive oil for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Andrea asked, what is your recipe for the salsa? I will be sharing with everyone at the very end. I'm going to put in this chat right here a link to the Lunch and Learn folder. In that Lunch and Learn folder will be her presentation as well as the recipes and ingredients that she shared today. So that will all be there, so you guys actually have that as a copy and you can refer to that. Heather asked, does olive oil go bad after a certain amount of time?
Nope.
Jira asked, what kind of salt are you using?
I prefer Himalayan pink salt because, again, it has nutrients in it. It has minerals and stuff in it versus the iodized. That's my preference, but you could use whatever you like. Sea salt is good, whatever you like.
Would you recommend sea salt or the salt you're using definitely over like iodinized salt, like the table salt? Would you recommend those options?
Yes. Yeah. There's more flavor. There's just more flavor and there's more minerals and things in it too.
And also, as you noticed, Stephanie was using grinders for it, which, keeps it fresh instead of buying something that's already been done, 3 months ago at a manufacturer's location.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I wanted to share, I know being in the food business for my whole life, both Stephanie and I and Ken and other people from our department, we're always talking about, what we've had out and how we're going to make it at home. And because of our backgrounds, all of us get questions from our families. I just had this. How would I make that? So, we kind of share information, and that's what you need to do with your friends too. Like we went to steakhouse that gives you carrabba's. When you go there, you get bread and you get olive oil and seasonings. And, you know, people kept saying, oh, I love that. How can I make that? And, you know, I don't know their exact recipe, but I'll just say, well, I would start with this and just play with it till you get the flavor you like. And some of them, it can be so easy to be a pleasant palate. It doesn't have to be exact. That's the wonderful thing about cooking versus baking. Now, Stephanie was teaching us baking, which she was a bakery chef, owned her own place. You know, there you're weighing stuff and getting exact measures so products turn out. But when it comes to cooking, it's so flexible. You know, like she doesn't like cilantro. I love cilantro. So I use the whole bunch when I make salsa, you know. And so, I mean, everyone's got different flavors, but it's so fun to be able to do it. Or like Rolanda said, you could buy your Grippo's powder and put it on something.
Eric, I do have some. I've been putting it on the popcorn. My healthy popcorn. Yes.
Oh, there you go.
That's another healthy snack.
I'm going to go ahead right now and share the link to this folder so that you all have all of these delicious recipes in this chat. Make sure it works here. So then you guys can add that to your drive and you can have access to all of Stephanie's amazing information. Are there any more questions? Or
hey, Adrian, can you share Leah's comment over in the chat?
Oh, thank you for catching that. I appreciate that. Leah said, we started some online clubs and activities for our 7th graders in early May, and several signed up for the Cooking Online Club. This type of video of Stephanie making this would be awesome to share with the students. This is awesome. That is amazing. I love that. And I'm also, Eric, when you said that Stephanie does demo videos, I mean, I think those would be great to share with employees as well. I don't know if that's an option, Eric. I don't know if these are top secret recipes but I think as employees, we could just very much have access to those. I think it sounds great.
Sure. Last year I taught 6 or 7 classes, cooking classes to the Project Connect kids last summer.
Oh, that's
so
awesome.
Yeah, I'm available for any of that kind of stuff. I can even help with the online cooking class if they need some help with that. Sure, just contact me and let me know.
That would be good too for the kids. Since I work with career-based learning, for the kids who may be in hospitality or even thinking about some type of cooking career.
Sure.
Would they be able to have access to that as well?
Sure.
Cool. Thank you.
Just give me your email so I can share things with you.
Will do.
Yeah, and actually
I'm sorry, Eric, go ahead.
I was just going to share. So yeah, throughout the district, there are different cooking classes going on. And unfortunately, we're not always made aware of it. And we are definitely a resource. So Stephanie is our district chef, but we have a lot of us have been in the industry. Basically, we have 3 chefs. And then, you know, I was in the restaurant business, so I've done cooking and so forth. So we have a lot of resources. And, you know, as Stephanie said, she's gone out and helped with things, and she does videos for our staff too. So those are things we could work on. Now, obviously, this fall is going to be so new because we don't know what's happening yet. We couldn't start something right away. But, you know, the other thing, like Andrea, I'm not sure what school you're at or what program you're working with, or.
I'm with the education building, but it's the career-based learning team. My manager is Brittany Cousins. And so my responsibility is to set up, like, for instance, the Career Expo that's at Sharonville Convention Center every year, mock interviews with our schools, job shadowing, things of that nature. And so one of the suggestions was by one of our business partners was to have do videos of individuals within the district doing different things for career things versus going out, because I'm trying to think outside the box, because part of my responsibility while we're working from home is to set up events either in person, blended, or possibly virtual. That would be perfect for virtual.
Mhm.
Yes. So yeah, there's also Gator High has a culinary program as well, and they have a chef. So there's resources throughout the district, and there's been times that we've been called in to assist with them as well, and so we're available. It's a matter of getting on the schedule and calendars. Stephanie's done live demos as well for like you said, students. We've done it for parents. The parents don't know how to cook things. A lot of times it's not going to happen. So she's done all that, and so have others in our department. And we've had a lot of fun with it, haven't we, Stephanie?
Yep.
Leah asked if the demo videos could be shared on CPS TV for students and families to enjoy.
I don't see why not. They could be, sure.
Yes, and to kind of give you a little background on that too. So our actual initial goal for this fall prior to COVID was to build our library of videos for training on cooking. And because of everything that's happened, we're not where we wanted to be. And we're not sure we're going to be able to get to where we want to be for September 1. But that is something that's on our calendars, is for Stephanie to create more videos. And I was joking with her about having fun, because I've played the role as we first got it started as being like the director. You guys remember that? And I'll go, stop, Stephanie, hold on, take a look at this, and so forth. And we've had a lot of fun with it. It may not have always been fun. She's probably thinking, wow, he's so picky. But, we've gotten to this point, not overnight. And now she's an old pro. It's all ready to go. And it's just like the cooking shows on TV. But it's been a lot of fun getting there. We also hired a person who specializes in marketing that will be assisting us with all that. So, Rolanda, you mentioned the video we did for the holiday season, or the Winter Wonderland.
Yes.
So our new marketing person filmed that and edited it, and we really had a whole lot of fun doing it. It was a team building exercise. So we look forward to doing more of what Stephanie's been doing, I guess is where I'm trying to get to. And as we move forward, keep the requests coming in, because it's kind of like, we can kind of get caught in our own little world, and poke us once in a while and say, how's that coming? We all get
Well, we're just so appreciative. We're so appreciative of the partnership, and so you guys, I feel like this was so, at least for me, and I've looked in the chat, this was so beneficial today. Stephanie, thank you so much for sharing your giftings and your talents with us. I know that others will be hearing about this. I expect for you guys to spread the word and to tell another colleague or someone that maybe you're just checking in on as another CPS coworker, and you may want to share with them your experience. But a lot of times we'll look outside of the district for resources. Everything you need is in the house. So tap into those resources that are in the house, because they do amazing work over in student dining services. And we're just lucky enough to be able to get these two experts on the line today. So we want to thank everybody for participating. Let's give Stephanie a hand, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was amazing.
Stephanie, I'm on my way to your house for lunch.
I got plenty of samples. I live by Dayton, so it'll be a long ride.